Welcome everyone, and today I'll be talking all about Vaseline hair tonic, and I'll be addressing some common issues and frequently asked questions about this hair tonic, such as issues related to hair fall, scalp nourishment, and styling. Now, if you don't know who I am, I'm Danny, and I run my channel called The Squiddy Show, where I do reviews for hairstyling products for men, especially old-timey traditional hairstyling products such as pomades, for example. And 2 years ago, I've done a video review on the exact product over here. I've done a video on Vaseline hair tonic 2 years ago, and for some reason, it's the most popular video on my channel. It just blew up compared to all my other videos. But some of you might be asking me right now, why am I redoing this video right now, despite having so many views? Well, that's because the audience, a majority of the audience watching my older Vaseline hair tonic review is kind of different from my target audience. And I wasn't really prepared to address the issues that this new audience asks about frequently. And so this video will touch on all the topics I did not answer and talk about in my previous video. And it will also be directed towards a much broader audience out there, whether you're a pomade user or if you're just looking for something to maybe stop hair fall and just need something to nourish your scalp, for example. So first, I'll give a brief introduction on Vaseline hair tonic, and then I will go to the bathroom and show you how it's done, how to use it, how to put in your hair, and how to style your hair with it if that is your thing. And then I'll return over here shortly after to talk more about it and answer some frequently asked questions about this tonic. So let's cut to the chase. What is Vaseline hair tonic really? So if you don't know what a hair tonic is, I have a video especially for that, so I'll leave a link in the description below, so go ahead and check out my video explaining all about different hair tonics and why you need one. But assuming you know what a hair tonic is already, Vaseline hair tonic is one of these oil-based hair tonics. However, it literally just is mineral oil in a bottle. It's just scented mineral oil in a bottle. Just mineral oil that is refined to a fraction that's suitable for your scalp and your hair. Now, about oil-based hair tonics, there are others out there made of different oils, such as jojoba oil, argan oil, and stuff like that. Those are super good for nourishing your hair, and a lot of these other hair tonics, they can absorb your hair quickly, but this one being made of mineral oil, it absorbs really quickly. I mean, yes, it does the job of scalp nourishment. However, it just sits in your scalp longer than some of the more new school oil-based hair tonics out there. So that means you should expect at least a greasy feeling in your hair, and don't use too much because mineral oil absorbs pretty slowly. So if you're the kind of person who really doesn't like using greasy products, you either should use very little of this or maybe not even think about using it at all. Now, because this is such a greasy product, I would also recommend that if your hair is naturally very oily, because there's some people with that problem, if you have naturally greasy hair, then do not use Vaseline hair tonic. Now on to the first question. Who uses Vaseline hair tonic? Who is it for? Well, first of all, it's a unisex product, and if you actually do your research looking on vintage ads of Vaseline hair tonic, because Vaseline hair tonic is not a new product, it's been around for a very long time, since the 1930s actually. You would see a lot of the advertisements targeting it towards men, but that really depends on the era, because in the 1930s, you see the ads of Vaseline hair tonic being for women to give their hair that beautiful shine and to just protect it. But suddenly in the 40s and 50s, all those ads suddenly become targeted towards men, because during that time, a lot of men were suddenly using hair tonics to style their hair. And so after that, the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, all the ads in Vaseline hair tonic were for men. So basically, this is also kind of like a liquid gel as well. I don't literally mean a hair gel that kind of just crunches your hair up and just freezes it into place. No. But I mean gel over here is like a general hairstyling product. So Vaseline hair tonic is also a styling product. if you like to comb your hair with water and it just holds, even with just water, if your hair is that easy, just use Vaseline hair tonic instead. Right now, you can see I have an Elvis Presley hairstyle. Even though this does not provide much hold, it's a very, very light hold product. It just happens that my hair is at the right length for it to actually just hold up this particular style over here. You can use it to style your hair, but don't expect really crazy styles. Maybe just a classic side part. But anyway, right now I'll show the styling demonstration and I'll show you how to use it in your hair. And then right after that, I will talk more about the hair fall issues. So I just came out of the shower and washed my hair, and then I towel dried until it's slightly damp. Right now it's just a little bit wet. It's currently looking a little fluffy. But anyway, before you apply the Vaseline hair tonic, you might want to make sure that your hair is not dripping wet. It should just be damp, as in slightly wet, or if it's wet, just towel dry your hair just like I did. You just want to make sure there's a little bit of moisture in there, but make sure that it's not too wet. Now, for those of you who are using this tonic only for the purposes of softening your hair and to moisturize a little bit, then I would recommend 5 drops. So 1, 2, 3, 4, that's 5 drops right there. Rub your hands a little and apply it to your hair. And once you do, make sure you work with your fingertips to massage it in, just like this. And the texture of the Vaseline tonic itself, because it's oil, it's obviously more viscous than water. It's not super runny, but you'll definitely feel a bit of the thickness of it, the oil. And you would want to massage your hair for at least 15 seconds, but a minute at most, to make sure that you get the oils right in there. Then comb your hair back and distribute it. But for those of you who want to style with it, use it as a styling product like a liquid gel. You might want to apply a little bit more. I wouldn't count drops over here, but you just want to take, like, you can't really see it that much, but maybe another dime-sized amount. You want to apply obviously more than just 5 drops. You want to control your hair, because what this does is also add control to your hair. But you wouldn't want to overdo it to make your hair feel greasy. But obviously, if you're using this to style your hair, you need more than just what the people who use it to only moisturize your hair need. So if you're only using this to moisturize your hair and do nothing else with it, especially for you women out there, 5 drops would pretty much be enough, even with your long hair. Just make sure you comb it evenly as well, so everything is pretty much coated. But for those of you who are willing to style with it, obviously you definitely need more. Just experiment with it, but too much will make your hair too greasy. So you can see the control over here is pretty much like I applied water in my hair. It's just almost a natural amount of control, so you shouldn't expect crazy styling properties. You just do simple hairstyles, really. I mean, you can do, what I normally like to do with this one is just do a simple side part, like basically a classic businessman hairstyle, just like this. And that's pretty much what most people, men in the 50s, did when they styled their hair with it. However, because my hair is longer right now, I also do like to style an Elvis pompadour with it, because Elvis Presley himself used this tonic as well, as a matter of fact. And I just want to elaborate a little more on the reasoning why you need to make your hair a little damp before applying this. Well, basically, like I said in the beginning of this video, this is Vaseline hair tonic is pretty much mineral oil in a bottle. So what mineral oil does is pretty much, because it absorbs really slowly, it kind of acts a bit like a coating, like a slight layer over your scalp. And so if your scalp is a little moist, what the mineral oil does is that it will trap a little bit of the moisture in there. So it's better to start off with slightly damp hair than to just make it completely dry, so it has a good moisture to start with it anyway. But obviously you still can also add water after you apply the Vaseline hair tonic. as long as it's not too much. So basically this is my Elvis Presley hairstyle. I mean, it will fall apart maybe like between half an hour to maybe a few hours, depending on how much you use. But obviously this is just mineral oil, so you shouldn't expect a lot of hold out of it. It'll hold a lot better if you do a side part, like a classic side part. I actually did a classic side part in my first version of the Vaseline Hair Tonic review. You can go ahead and check that out. Check the video again if you'd like to see me style a side part, but I'm doing the Elvis today. You can also use a military brush to soften the sides a little more if you're styling with it. But of course the hold in this is very, very light. It's almost like water. So for those of you who like to style your hair with water, I don't recommend that you use water, because if you style your hair with only water, not only will it just leave flyaways everywhere and leave your final hairstyle undesirable, but it will also dry your hair out. Because when it evaporates, it takes all the other moisture in the hair with it, along with it, and so your hair ends up getting dry. But with Vaseline Hair Tonic, the moisture is kept in and the water does not get evaporated, and the oils in it also moisturize your hair at the same time. Anyway, you can also see a bit of the greasy shine as well. Now I'll show what it looks like under this lighting here. You can see I have a very natural shape, of course, because this is pretty much just a very light styling product that just takes the natural properties of the hair. And you can also see the nice wet shine in there. It kind of gives you the wet look, of course. If you're the kind of person who loves to style your hair with water, I recommend you don't do water and just switch to Vaseline Hair Tonic. And if you are also the kind of person who doesn't need too much hold and just need something very simple to style your hair and also want that wet look, Vaseline Hair Tonic is perfect for you men out there who want this slightly wet look with a little bit of control, but just a very natural feeling if you don't like using wax or gel, for example, because that stuff can kind of feel a little like you have more weight in your hair. But with Vaseline Hair Tonic, it feels like there's pretty much nothing in there. So whenever you use Vaseline Hair Tonic, always massage it in a little to get the best results, whether you're styling with it or not. So just to recap, if you're only using Vaseline Hair Tonic just to moisturize your hair without doing anything, 5 drops is enough, whether you're a man or woman, pretty much. But you can apply a little more than that. It gets too greasy, however, so you should be a little conservative about that. Just rub it in between 15 seconds to a minute. But if you're styling your hair with it, like I'm doing today, you need to apply a little more. So the hold in it's also very, very light, so you shouldn't expect too much from it. And that's pretty much the perspective from a styling and application perspective for Vaseline Hair Tonic, and a quick tutorial on how to use it. Alright, so you just saw the styling video, and I would also like to add to that you can use a blow dryer along with it. In fact, it's also good to use a blow dryer after applying instead of before, because this also kind of acts as a heat protectant as well. The mineral oil just sort of acts as a coating because, like I said, it absorbs pretty slowly, so it kind of adds a little bit of a small layer to your hair to protect it from the heat. And whether you can use this daily, I see that question being popped up a lot. Of course, you can use it daily, but if you would like to do that, you will definitely notice a difference. Eventually your hair would get much softer, and you would also find that you would have a lot less dandruff. This is pretty much an anti-dandruff product as well. Any hair oil would actually prevent dandruff, because dandruff mainly comes from a dry scalp. And what this does, like I said, it actually combats dry scalp. Well, it's not the best at doing it, at least it does the job, so that it keeps your scalp dandruff free. Does it actually nourish your scalp? Well, it does do the job. It does make my hair softer, especially if I'm using it daily, but you don't really have to. But even after using it for just one day and just leaving it for like a few hours, you would definitely notice a difference. Your hair would feel softer and maybe a little stronger. However, is it the best at doing that? No, it's not. Like I said earlier, there are other oil-based hair tonics. There are the ones that are made of jojoba oil, for example, and other oils that are better for your hair. So if you're just looking for something that just does the job of nourishing your hair and scalp, this will do. But if you want a really high quality product, you might as well just find another hair tonic, another oil-based hair tonic with beneficial oils for hair, because this is literally only just mineral oil. Now let's talk about issues related to hair fall. Now, this is a little bit of a vague term over here because hair fall can come from a variety of different reasons. So first of all, let's talk about permanent hair loss, permanent hair fall, and male pattern baldness. Will this cure that? Definitely not. There is currently no magic cure to regrowing your hair if you have permanent hair loss that's genetic, nor will it actually stop that. I mean, there are different remedies to slow down. I mean, the most other products will do. You have some products designed especially for permanent hair loss, and that doesn't actually reverse the effect, but rather would slow it down. This is not one of those products. This hair tonic is not a baldness remedy. It never was designed for that. And there are a lot of people who are misled by the word tonic, and so they think automatically this is the kind of product that would actually maybe reverse the whole balding process, and they would hope that it would probably regrow the hair to bald. This is literally just mineral oil, as I keep on saying this video so many times, so you should probably get the point right now. It definitely does not help with permanent hair loss at all. But when it comes to temporary hair loss, temporary hair fall, temporary hair fall mainly comes from an unhappy scalp. So that means your scalp is most likely really dry, and obviously this does help with that. So you can use Vaseline hair tonic if you struggle with a really dry scalp and hair fall issues related to dry scalp, because this will definitely help you when it comes to temporary hair fall due to dry scalp, because it will actually moisturize the dry scalp. All right, so I tackled the hair fall issues pretty clear already, and I'm very, very clear about permanent hair loss. It definitely does not help with permanent hair loss, and you shouldn't be thinking that at all, because it was never designed for that. And it does help with temporary hair fall if it is a dry scalp related issue. What about hair growth? Will this help with growing your hair out? Well, not directly. Mineral oil doesn't really help with the growth of your hair. So like I said, this is mainly to condition your scalp. So sometimes hair growth is also related to your scalp as well, indirectly, because if you have a healthy scalp, that is a breeding ground for growing healthy hair. So the more healthy your scalp is, you might find your hair grows a little faster. So it wouldn't really directly contribute to hair growth. If you're looking for a hair oil that really does help with hair growth, I recommend that you use argan oil instead, because that one really nourishes the hair directly and it absorbs really quick, and for some reason it's one of those oils that actually help with the growth of the hair. Well, the mineral oil in Vaseline hair tonic does it very, very slowly and really indirectly, but it's not much to a noticeable extent. At least that's in my experience. Not that I've ever used it for growing my hair out though, because that's not really what the product was actually designed for. Next question, can you use Vaseline hair tonic on your face or on your body? Well, unless you want a face full of acne, then go ahead and use Vaseline hair tonic, because you shouldn't use it on your face at all. Well, for your body, I wouldn't recommend it either, because like I said, mineral oil absorbs really slowly, and if you just want an oil that will moisturize your skin, it's better to buy other oils that are especially for skin, such as massage oils, for example, that are designed with oils that pretty much absorb well into the skin, unlike mineral oil, which actually do take a while. So theoretically, it is possible obviously, to put this in your skin, but I wouldn't recommend this particular product for your skin. Now, talking more to the styling perspective of Vaseline Hair Tonic, if you're a pomade user like me, you can use this over an oil-based pomade to provide that extra shine. If you use it on hair coated with pomade, it'll provide more shine than if you use this alone. Like, it'll give your hair sort of a nice, slightly high shine if you're just using your hair alone, but it won't look super wet, but just a little wet. It'll give the slightly greasy look, however, but if you apply it to hair with pomade, it'll really give that lustrous and super high shine look compared to just using Vaseline Hair Tonic as a standalone. And if you want to wash out your oil-based pomade, you can also apply some drops of this into your hair and leave it in for the whole day so that it breaks down all the oil-based pomade residue and buildup in your hair. So when you later hop into the shower at the end of the day, you can find that you'll find that you have a lot of the pomade washed out of your hair, because Vaseline Hair Tonic actually also does break down any of the remaining pomade that's in your hair. Well, if you want to see more about using Vaseline Hair Tonic for a pomade user perspective, such as using it as a topper over pomaded hair, or using it as a degreaser to break down buildup, you can check out my version 1, my older video of Vaseline Hair Tonic, because I detailed a lot about that, but I won't go into too much detail in this video this time. So that's why I'm not deleting the old video, I'm still keeping it because it details more in some things, while this one details more on another. So in a nutshell, let's revise what he talked about today and what Vaseline Hair Tonic really is for. So Vaseline Hair Tonic is just basically scented mineral oil, but it mainly helps with conditioning your scalp and as a styling product to help style your hair if you are a man who's looking for a styling product that is pretty much like water but doesn't dry out. And you can also use it if you're a woman, of course, but you shouldn't use it too much, otherwise it'll turn your hair, it'll make your hair really greasy. And if you have naturally greasy hair, don't use this at all. And it does help with scalp conditioning, but this still can do it. It does work. Not the best, but it will work. So if you enjoyed this video and learned a lot from it, even more than my previous video, please leave a like, comment, subscribe to this channel, click on the bell icon so you don't miss a single upload of The Squiddy Show, and I'll see you next time on The Squiddy Show.